Oh my God. Good morning. Dream number one. I'm going to try and say it because I remember it quite well. I was in my room, or a room in my house. If I remember, it was 1290 Ridgewood Drive. But it wasn't the same house. I was in my room, but there were many other rooms not in the same position. I was with a girl, a mulatto girl. I have to say it the way it is. There were many other girls there, and what had happened is I was next to her, and she was dragging me over to the room. She wanted to have sex, but again, just like last week, when she took her pants off, her pussy smelled real bad. She wanted me to go down on her. I really don't like to talk this way, but this is the first time I ever had a dream like this. But all of a sudden, something happened. I wasn't sure what it was. So I did what I was telling you I did. I don't like to go into any more detail. And I heard giggling in the background, so the first thing I thought of was the money. But I didn't have much of it. So I opened the drawer, and I saw it was empty. And all of a sudden, the girl says to me, "Don't worry, your drawer's not empty, it's on the floor." So I look on the floor, it's there, so I picked it up, and I ripped a bunch of money on the side of the money. And I threw it back in the drawer. And I knew there was other money missing, so I went, "Where's my money?" And all of a sudden, the girls start coming around me. I said, "You have my money. You have my money. I want back my money." All of a sudden, "We don't have your money. We didn't take your money." And all of a sudden, one girl takes out a little bit of money and gives it to me. The other girl takes out money and gives it to me. I threw it in my drawer. I looked in my drawer. I saw my ripped money. And then a guy shows up. His name is Norman. He says, "Hey, buddy," he says, "I borrowed a lot of money from you." And he gives me a stack of money. And I couldn't figure it out in the dream because I knew I had no money. So I turn around, I see the girls coming in, I look back in the drawer, there's no more money again. I said, "What kind of game is this? Give me back my money." So they gave me my money, and I threw my money, the ripped money, back in my pocket. I said I didn't have the ripped money, so I went into the bedroom to count it, and they followed me in. So I went into the bathroom, and she says, "No, no, you can't go into the bathroom." She didn't want me to flush the toilet. There was some money in the toilet. So that's basically how the dream ended. I collected back the money. They kept taking it from me. I kept putting it back in the drawer, and it kept disappearing again. And then I woke up. The time was 5:57 in the morning. Again, 5:57 in the morning. Now I just had a second dream. I was with my grandfather in the old office down by an abattoir. It's a killing plant for chickens. My mother was there, but I couldn't speak. I had a speech impediment. And it's just so funny, because I was watching the King's speech in the last movie I watched last night. And I tried to write down, I was telling him about the stock market, Walt Disney. It was 1957, but I knew I wasn't born until 64. So I knew something was wrong in the dream. So I tried to tell him what time, or where we were, or what it was, and all of a sudden now the dream switches. The only way to do this is my friends are now laughing at me. So I said, we have to go to somewhere and to prove it. Now this guy, okay, we were two of us, me and a friend of mine and this other guy, and we were trying to prove to this guy that we went back in time, and he didn't want to believe us. So the only way to do this, we ended up in Walt Disney World. And while we were there, he still wouldn't believe us. I showed him a calendar. He said we tricked him. I showed him money in my pocket that says it was printed in 1980 or 90 something. I knew it was in the year 2000. So I found the calendar. I wasn't sure what year it marked, because it was only marked once in the front, and he says we switched the date. Then I found the lottery ticket. But on the lottery ticket corners, it said the date as 2 numbers here and 2 numbers here, and then 2 numbers here and 2 numbers here. So he says, "Oh, that's just a mix-up." So we go into the park, and we asked the park, what year is it? And he told us it was 2000 and something. So I had to really pee really bad, so we went into the bathroom. Except the whole thing is, when I unzipped my zipper, for some reason, I was 2 feet higher than the toilet, okay, or the urinal. And I tried to pee, but I couldn't. So I had to go into the toilet room and shut it and take down my pants, because I didn't want to take down my pants any other way. I didn't know. And slowly I started to make my pee-pee, and then I woke up. And the thing about the pee-pee is on the roulette wheel, when you color in the black and the red, it spells the word pee-pee on it. For real, in the real life. I woke up, I had to go to the bathroom, I went to the bathroom, it's 5:07, just like 1957, like in the movie, and I was awoke, and I'm here telling you the video of what it is. Time machine, we went back in time. One of the last things I talked about is to a woman, I call her Kay. The other woman I spoke to last night was also Krista, and one other woman last night was, I can't remember the name, but this is what we talked about. We're talking about, can we go back in time? And I says, yes, we can go back in time, but the time machine is not a time machine. Okay, the way you go back in time is we go to a different dimension in which there's another Earth, and then in another dimension there's another Earth, and in another dimension there's another Earth. We're not actually going in time, but we're going through portals taking us to different Earths in time. But also in my dream I was thinking that we don't actually go there. Somehow we seem to disappear from here. And it's only the energy that's within our pineal gland that transfers from one pineal gland to another pineal gland, and we awaken in another world. The dust of the sand of who we are goes into a mist in the air. When we come back, the mist comes back into the earth, and the molecules from the earth build back your body, and voila, you're back into the other world again. This is not like, this is like sort of like a machine. Well, it is a machine, but you don't actually need the machine. You just have to want to go, and then you disappear. Just like in Star Trek, when the molecules disappeared, it was the same thing. Anyways, that was my dream last night. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus, where I believe it all takes place. I talk about Pegasus. I look into Orion. I look into Andromeda, if you want to call it that way. This is just amazing. The only reason I know anything about Andromeda, and I don't even know enough, or Meta, or however you want to say it, is because of Don Adams. Without him, I wouldn't know this. Without the watching of Mr. Weber, I wouldn't know this. You see, I get online. People say, what are you going online? What are you wasting your time? I'm not. I constantly write. Yesterday I wrote for 5 straight hours notes. I have to write. It makes my mind work. It makes my mind expand. I need to expand the mind. But it's not the mind of the thought. It's the mind within my mind where the pineal gland connects so that I can get up into the star system through the pineal gland. You see, whatever the system uses on us here, when I got bipolar, you know when you go through a tube and you come this way? Well, I'm able to push myself back through the same tube in order to go back and see the relevancy or irrelevance of inside the computer. It's like going down the waterfall, except I'm going up the waterfall, just like the salmon go up to spawn their eggs. Spawn, the last Star Trek, Return of the Sith, was really the spawning and how the mind works. We're not here. We're in another world. We connect electronically from this other world into this world through the pineal gland. And it's all electricity. Whatever you think, it goes into your mind and it's used just to go back into the computer system. We are actually somewhere else. Now, whether we're alive somewhere else, that's possible. We might be sleeping in the other world and awake here, or we might just be awake in both worlds, just going so fast back and forth, just like they do on radio shows. They stream, in which the actual streaming is coming into your computer, then you're seeing it. While you're seeing this, seconds later, this is coming in, and that's why we're able to keep up with the thought pattern, because we can think quick, because we're bringing it in, we're drinking the water, and as we're drinking the water, more water is coming down the fall with the information. Raphael 7286, we'll leave it at this for now. That was amazing, because that's exactly what I wanted to dream before I went to bed. Not only that, I put pressure like this really hard on my eyes until I warp my eyeball, and then it sparkles within inside of me. I look deeper in, and there's a circle. I look, and the circle goes deep, 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 and there's a orange, or actually it always changes around. And when I look deep, all of a sudden images appear. I can really never make out what it is. Last night I was able to make out a couple. Somebody was sitting on a chair in a classroom. A couple of other ones I would see rainbows. Well, not actually rainbows, but pictures with a lot of color in it. So I really can't make it out, just like the picture in the background. So that's why it's like that. It's not the first time it happened. When I was 10 years old, and my mother remembers, I had a dream, and all I saw was fuzzy and hazy, and I couldn't see it very well, and it frustrated me so bad. I cried, and I cried, and I remember that it was the worst nightmare I ever had, dreaming of letters and numbers. 39 years ago. The last dream I had of this, my mother carried me in her arms. We were in Saint-Sever near a ski mountain. She carried me out to the car. I couldn't stop crying. My son had this dream. He doesn't actually know what happened because it was too blurry and confusing, so he couldn't tell anybody. But when I was 15, 20 years old, I couldn't see exactly what that dream was all about myself when I started getting older. I still couldn't see it when I was that age. I really didn't figure out this dream until about 8 years ago, in which I said, oh my God, and that's when all the numbers started to happen. Everybody sees it too. But the percentage sign says 10 and 10. At the same time, it's the angle. Don't you see the angle? This is the 45-degree angle, if I know what it is, cutting into the 135 degrees, 3 levels, 45, 45, 45, 135. We're left with 55 degrees. 55 of 77, because 5 and 5 to a 7 world is 2 and 2. The 3 basic worlds is 7, 10, and 13 in order to differentiate because of the 3 levels. You only can connect the 2 levels at a time. If you connect to 9 and 6, and it's an expression level. If you connect to 5 and 9, you're connecting your own self to your birth and playing center to the 5 position. 16 and 19, 17 and 20, 18 and 21, 35, 37, 39. The totality of this is 111, or the roof of the Twin Towers. This is the center of the roulette board. Do I have the picture? I don't have the picture, but I do want to show you something else. That one of the numbers you have to watch for is this number here, 5113, or 511 and 3. Total of 19, man on the moon. That's the number they're working the vanilla MasterCards on. They're all over the place, the numbers. All over. All over. They're all signs. The number of games, I made a mistake in one of my videos. Apparently they're going to have, is it 47 or 48 games of hockey? 48, that's space, because 4 by 8, 4 plus 8, that's 44. 48 is the corners. You see the corners of my screen, and then the corners of the screen? Around that is 48, if you calculate it on square paper. You see, in Monopoly, okay, imagine these 4 spaces in Monopoly. This is go. Well, starting at this corner and going down this row and coming back from here, this would be 40. But if you started from this corner and went around and come back here, that's 48. 48 and 40 is 44, is in between. 40 is 4 times 0, 4 plus 0, the total is 4. 48 is 4 by 8, is 32, 4 by 8 is 12. 12 and 4 is 16, 4 by 4 is 16. 3 by 16 creation is 64. 16 and 16 is 4 by 16, 3 by 16 is the 48. The totality is the 64. The 44th President, Barack Obama, the age of 64 right now, is Prince Charles. Is that his name? Prince Charles is on area number 12, 11 on the dice roll, right next to visiting jail and a corner of Connecticut where Sandy was hurt. If you go around the cross corner, you end up at New York. A number 19 on the dice, but number 20 position. 39, Sandy the storm. S, A, N, D, and Y. S is 19, Y is 25. 25 and 19 is 44. New York, free parking, Kentucky. Rand Paul, Ron Paul's son is from there. And like I've showed you in a video before, Fight Club is right here. This is in French. This says birthday of Ronnie and the club. Okay? Yvonne, you have to listen to this song. It's not the same thing. Lemonade, Toto, Bravo, Sutton, Mickey Mouse, Bolero, Seabiscuit. Montreal is the next one. I don't see like you see. I don't read like you read because I go deeper into the words, especially when they're capitals, and they're all capitals means they're an expression of the initial. The word Martian has 2 syllables. Okay? Martian's 2 syllables are the letter M and the letter T, but when you say them together, it's empty. The why I think it's empty, because I think it's our thought process that works through Mars. Why? Because the connecting number on the dice is 3 and 4, oppositions of 7, Earth and Mars, the only 2 planets without the U. The other 2, when you flip it upside down, is Pluto and Mars. The 9th planet in the force is 13. 13 and 7 is 20, 1/2 of the world we are in, and the placement of New York. New York is 5775. George is 5775. George the monkey. Monkey says the key of life. It's not the evolution from the monkey into man. Okay? It's the science of the evolution of the monkey into man. I'm not going to go back to how the whole thing started. I'm going to go down to what they did to us here. The earth was pulled together just like Avatar. That color they use is our birth color. It's the color the energy becomes. There's 2 kinds. There's this greenish kind and bluish. They both have that same, I wish I can show you what it is, because purple, violet, that Mediterranean sea green, and this turquoise color, more or less. Okay, and the turquoise comes from the horses. The yellow 9 ball is from the pool. The 10 is split on an angle in the other set of horses, which is blue and red, the 1 and 2 in pool, but the 10 in horses, and also the 10 in horses is also the 1 and the 2 or the 1 and the 3. They've changed the cards around. There's no more images here. They took apart the connection in the middle and showed us the Olympic. When you split this in half on one side, this here becomes the knife of the king. You see the king? You see the sword here? There's a dot right there. That's the spirit dot, okay? It goes behind his head. It's the same color. This is how he turns his head, how he switches his suits. Here's the 1 curvature, here's the 2 of them. Here's your S. Okay, here's the tail. You see the tail the way it comes out? You're not supposed to see properly, because when you see properly, you're seeing something else. You have to see a little blurred vision. That's the way it is. They've switched around a lot of cars. In this one, they show you it. Instead of having the circles, now we have the planes. The wheel of life. Here's your spirals. The queen. You see the way the hair has one straight line all the way down from here all the way to the bottom? You see this over here? This is like the manana, connecting 2 sides. In this one, they show it. This is the way we're connected. That's Jupiter in the center, and I'm assuming the other 2 are either Mars and Saturn, or Venus and Neptune. See the way it is? See these sides? If you look close enough, they show images. Here's the Joker dropping all the letters onto the bottom. It says new thing on it. Joker, if you take a look, okay, read Kojo. Joker, okay, in the alphabet is A, K, Use just the letter A. A, H, K, J, and R. If you put them down, it says, ah, Joker. The way the hair is curled, the one eye. He's showing you this here over here. If you put it together, you'll see what it does. In the Wizard of Oz, they have this image, except expanded, on the back of the monkeys in the Wizard of Oz. You see the way the hair is going both ways? One eye, because he plays from two sides. You have the same thing on this one. You want to see communication? You remember Flower Child? Well, all these flowers the Queen sold. The Queen is the only card with two eyes, and this is a representation of Indianapolis, the race car driving. And the last one is we're playing from two sides of the B. 2, 3, 7. Number 23. 7 by 23 is 140, plus 21 is the cube. 141, 1 for 1, DNA. A is 1, N is 14, DNA. Now we went 7 by 23, so what we're going to do right now is reverse 723 to 327. 7 and 3 is 1. 327, hold on a second. I want to mark this down because I'm not really fast. 2, 3, 7, 7, 3, 2 comes out to 9, 6, 9. 9, 6, 9. Now I'm going to do it the other way. 7 by, I'm going to go 23 times 7, which is, no, excuse me, 2, 3, 7, 23 by 7 is 140, and 21 is 141. 141, put the inside to the outside, and the outside to the inside makes it 282. That would be the moon. The first one would be DNA. The second one would be the moon. 237 plus 237 is 574. And if you add up 1 to 36 in a space of 9, the center will equal to the 74. And you do it the other way. The center equals to the 74 or 47. It means time. It means Jesus. 47 and 74 are 121. 121 is a representation of 1111. That's the spirit connected 10 from two sides. One side of 10 and the other side of 10. Because although you have 7 and 13, like I told you, it's in the two worlds. So one goes up 2 to 9. The other one goes down 2 from 13 to 11. You end up with 911. Raphael 7286. Thank you.